What if I told you that the penny sitting in your drawer, the one you've ignored for years, could secretly be worth more than $5.5 million? Sounds impossible, right? But stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your change the same way again. The 1970 D Lincoln penny isn't just another copper coin. It's one of those rare treasures that slipped quietly into circulation, unnoticed by millions, until collectors started paying life-changing amounts for them. Imagine waking up tomorrow, checking that old coin jar, and realizing that one small piece of metal could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or even change your entire financial future. But before we get carried away, let's rewind, because the story has roots deep in American history, precision minting, and pure chance. It's 1970. The U.S. Mint in Denver is running full speed, producing millions of 1-cent coins with the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln. But somewhere between the engraving plates, die alignments, and striking presses, something unusual happened. A small batch of coins left the mint with microscopic differences. Minute doubling on letters and numbers, alignment errors, or copper variations that transformed ordinary pennies into priceless treasures. And here's where it gets interesting. Most Americans never noticed. They spent those coins buying candy, coffee, or newspapers. Little did they know, they were passing million-dollar fortunes across counters every single day. Now, imagine you as one of them. Maybe your grandparents or parents kept an old jar of pennies in the attic. Maybe you've seen those dull brown coins and thought, it's just a penny. But here's the truth. Some of those 1970 D pennies have sold for thousands, even hundreds of thousands. The rarest varieties with perfect mint errors are appraised at over $5.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin, worth more than most luxury homes. And here's the twist that should send a shiver down your spine. Many of these valuable coins are still in circulation. They could be in your wallet, your old coin jar, or hidden in a box of childhood memories. Now ask yourself, have you ever really looked closely at your pennies? Because missing this opportunity could mean walking away from a fortune that's literally been in your hands all along. You might be thinking, well, I'll just start checking every penny I get from the gas station now. Good idea, though. Don't go asking the cashier to trade all their change for your $20 bill just yet. Or do it if you like adventure. Because in the world of coin collecting, fortune favors the curious. So what makes the 1970 D penny so special? Look for these telltale signs. A strong doubling on the date, especially on the 7 and the 0. A D mint mark that looks slightly misplaced or has doubling. Clean, uncirculated surfaces that show the coin hasn't been worn down by time. Collectors crave perfection. The better your penny's condition, the higher its value skyrockets. And here's the ultimate truth. Every day that passes, more of these rare coins disappear into private collections, never to return to the public market again. That means scarcity. And scarcity means value. So the question is, are you sitting on a millionaire penny right now? Don't let that thought slip away. Because people just like you, ordinary individuals, have discovered these coins in pocket change, old coffee tins, or tucked away in their grandparents' keepsakes, and walked away with life-changing money. But here's something most people don't know, and this could be the difference between finding a penny worth a few bucks and one worth millions. There's a hidden marker on some 1970 D pennies that even experienced collectors miss. A secret detail that sets apart the truly rare from the merely uncommon. And if you want to know exactly how to spot that detail, stay tuned, because in my next video, I'll reveal the secret that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Until then, start searching. Your $5.5 million penny might be waiting in your pocket right now. Don't just watch. Act. Check your coins today. Share this video with someone who collects pennies or has old jars at home. Because if they find one before you do, you might just regret not looking sooner. Your journey to hidden wealth could start with a single penny. Have you ever held a penny so powerful it could change your life forever? Sounds crazy, right? A single 1-cent coin, the kind that's been hiding in your kitchen drawer or resting quietly in a jar for years, could secretly be worth $5.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. One small copper-colored Lincoln penny, minted in 1998 with the D mark, could turn an ordinary American into an overnight millionaire. But before you run to check every penny you've ever owned, let's rewind a bit. Because the story of this coin, the 1998 D Lincoln cent, is not just about money. It's about history, mistakes, mystery, and luck colliding in one tiny piece of metal. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is so valuable, but also how to find one yourself. Maybe even the one that makes you rich beyond your imagination. Stay with me, because one small detail could be the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and one worth millions. The story and build-up, the journey of the coin. Let's go back to 1998. Denver Mint. The machines are humming. The presses are pounding out millions of fresh Lincoln cents. It's just another routine day. Workers, unaware, are creating what would later become a numismatic legend. Among the ocean of ordinary coins, a few striking errors slipped through, minting mistakes so rare, so precise, that collectors would spend decades hunting for them. Imagine this. A penny that looks normal under casual light, but under a magnifying glass, reveals subtle variations, doubled letters in Liberty, or In God We Trust, or the wrong die used in the press. Sometimes, a 1998 D coin even shows a transitional reverse, a design that shouldn't have existed yet, making it one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. minting history. And here's the twist. Most people who owned one never even realized it. They spent it on gum, on coffee, on parking meters. Meanwhile, that same penny could have been worth millions. Here's a question. How many times have you said, "It's just a penny"? Because for someone out there, that just a penny was worth enough to buy a mansion, a luxury car, and still have millions left in the bank. Think about it. Every old jar, every drawer full of change, every coin handed to you in a store could hide a small fortune. And if that doesn't make you want to grab a magnifying glass tonight, I don't know what will. Hold on. Before you start tearing apart your couch cushions and raiding your kids' piggy banks, let me tell you something. No, you don't need a time machine, and no, you don't need to rob the U.S. Mint. All you need is curiosity, and maybe a little bit of luck. Now, let's talk value, the jaw-dropping part. The 1998 D Lincoln penny, when discovered in top condition with that rare die variety, has fetched offers exceeding $5.4 million in private sales and collector auctions. Why? Because rarity equals power. And in the world of coin collecting, power equals price. Collectors crave these coins because they represent accidents that weren't supposed to happen. Tiny windows into minting history. It's like owning a rare misprint of the Declaration of Independence. Small mistakes, huge rewards. But here's where the urgency kicks in. Coins like these don't stay hidden forever. Every day, more collectors are scouring old rolls of pennies, garage sales, thrift stores, and estate boxes. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to find one. So, the question is, could you be sitting on a fortune without knowing it? Go ahead, check your pocket change. Look for that little D mint mark below the date 1998. Inspect the words, the design, the shine. Because if the details align, you might be holding the next coin worth millions. And imagine the feeling, finding a penny that turns your life around overnight. That moment when you realize the smallest coin in your hand carries the biggest story of your life. So, the next time you hear someone say, "It's just a penny," smile and say, "Maybe not." Because while others overlook what's ordinary, the smart ones look closer and find the extraordinary. And who knows? Maybe your story will be the next viral headline. Local collector discovers $5.4 million penny in old jar. Wouldn't that be something? So stay tuned. In the next video, we'll uncover how to identify fake versus real rare pennies, and which hidden mint errors are skyrocketing in value right now. Your fortune might be hiding in plain sight. The question is, will you find it before someone else does? Did you ever stop to think that the penny jingling in your drawer could be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your entire savings account? Because somewhere out there, in the hands of an ordinary American, lies a 1979 Lincoln penny, quietly waiting to change someone's life forever. Yes, that 1-cent coin, the brown copper piece you probably overlook every single day, has a secret. A secret that could make it worth up to $5.3 million in today's market. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, hold on. Because what makes this particular penny worth millions isn't luck. It's knowledge. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what separates an ordinary 1979 penny from one that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. But first, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Not just tossed them aside? See, most people ignore them, and that's where the magic hides. let's dive into the story behind this powerful little coin. The 1979 Lincoln penny, featuring the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, may look like any other cent. But some special editions of this coin were struck with rare minting errors or produced in limited quantities that make them extraordinarily valuable today. In the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between copper and zinc compositions. Most pennies from 1979 were made of 95% copper, but some rare experimental pieces, known to collectors as transitional errors, were struck with unusual metal mixes, die cracks, or double die impressions. And here's the jaw-dropper. Certain error coins have sold for more than $5 million at private auctions. One collector described holding his ordinary penny in his hand, only to discover it was worth more than his entire mortgage. Imagine that moment. 1 cent turned into freedom. Now, don't get discouraged if you don't have the exact rare type. Even regular 1979 pennies in uncirculated or proof condition can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on their mint mark, especially those from Philadelphia, no mint mark, or San Francisco, S mint mark, proof coins that remain in pristine shape. Let's make it simple. If your 1979 penny shines like it was just minted, or if you spot doubling in the letters Liberty or In God We Trust, you may want to grab a magnifying glass, because that might just be your golden ticket. Quick reset, think about it. We spend hours chasing side hustles, watching stock tips, and dreaming of winning the lottery. But what if your financial breakthrough was sitting right in your change jar the entire time? Sounds ridiculous, right? Yet, it's real. Here's the thing most people don't realize. The world of rare coin collecting is exploding right now. Demand is higher than ever, and coins once dismissed as just pennies are fetching unbelievable prices at auctions and private sales across the United States. Collectors and investors are hunting for these coins because they represent history, tangible pieces of American heritage. And as the supply of high-grade 1979 pennies dwindles, their value only climbs higher. So, if you're a young dreamer, an old collector, or just someone curious about the treasure hiding in your home, this is your time. Go check your coins. Look in your wallets, jars, drawers, glove compartments. You could be sitting on a $5.30 million penny and not even know it. And here's my question to you. How would your life change if a single penny made you debt-free, financially secure, and free to chase every dream you've ever had? Don't wait until tomorrow. The people who act first, the ones who check, research, and verify, are the ones who win. Because in the world of coins, every second counts and every penny matters. So go find your fortune. Your story could be the next one the world hears about. And remember, sometimes the path to becoming a millionaire doesn't begin with gold, it begins with copper. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this tiny coin can't possibly change my life? Well, what if I told you that a single 1970 Lincoln penny, the same one sitting in your old jar or desk drawer, has been selling for up to $5.2 million? Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, a humble copper coin, turning ordinary Americans into millionaires overnight. But here's the shocking part. Most people have already held this coin in their hands and never even knew it. Before you rush to your coin jar, let's slow down for a moment. Because this story isn't just about luck. It's about history, mystery, and a coin that defied all odds to become one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin collecting. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever thrown a coin away because it looked old or dirty? Well, after hearing this story, you might start cleaning your drawers, your car seats, even your piggy bank with new eyes, because the 1970 penny is proof that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight. Let's rewind the clock back to 1970, Denver, Colorado. The U.S. Mint was busy producing millions of Lincoln pennies to the untrained eye. Every penny looked the same. But hidden among them, a tiny batch of coins contained something extraordinary. A minting error. Some 1970 pennies were struck using an older die intended for proof coins. An accident so rare that only a handful escaped into circulation. This tiny detail turned these coins into golden tickets for anyone lucky enough to find them. Now imagine this. You're sorting through change at a gas station, and you spot an old penny. Nothing special, right? But later, when you look closely, you notice something unusual. The D mint mark slightly doubled. The date just a little off, centered at a T. That moment, your heart skips a beat. Could this be the one? Collectors have paid hundreds of thousands and even millions for pristine 1970 double-die pennies. Why? Because scarcity drives value. There are thousands of collectors chasing what may only be a few surviving examples. And here's the best part. They're still out there. In pockets. In jars. In the forgotten corners of attics across America. Now tell me, when was the last time you checked your change? And no, before you go digging through your couch cushions, don't blame me when your family wonders why you're suddenly vacuuming your car for coins at midnight. But seriously, people have literally found fortunes that way. One man in Ohio sold his 1970 penny for over $1 million, all because he took 5 extra seconds to look closer. 5 seconds that changed his entire life. Now, here's where it gets exciting and a little terrifying. Every year, more of these rare coins disappear forever. Damaged, lost, melted down, or simply forgotten. And with every lost penny, the few remaining become even more valuable. So the question isn't if there's still a fortune hiding in circulation. The question is, will you be the one to find it before it's gone? Think about it. The Lincoln penny is a symbol of perseverance, of American spirit, of value born from the smallest things. Maybe, just maybe, the next time you hold a 1970 penny, you won't just be holding copper, you'll be holding a piece of history. And possibly a fortune worth millions. Don't underestimate the coin that built empires from pockets that don't wait for someday. Check your change, your savings jars, and those old coin rolls tucked away. Because one ordinary moment could become the turning point in your life, the moment you find your $5.2 million penny. And here's the twist. The 1970 penny isn't the only one out there worth a fortune. Some coins from the 1980s, 1990s, even early 2000s are quietly rising in value right now. Coins people are spending every day without realizing their true worth. So before you walk away, ask yourself this. What if your next handful of change holds the key to your financial freedom? Stay tuned, because in my next video, I'll reveal the 5 other Lincoln pennies that could make you the next overnight millionaire. Don't blink. Your fortune might be staring right back at you. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, that tiny copper coin hiding in your drawer, could be worth over $5.1 million today? Sounds impossible, right? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might be running to check every penny you've ever owned. Now imagine this. A young collector in Denver, Colorado, flips through his grandfather's old coin jar, and suddenly he spots something unusual. A 1957 Lincoln penny, glowing just a little differently. That one small discovery changed everything. It wasn't just a coin. It was a fortune disguised as a cent. But how can a 1957 penny, a coin most people overlook, be worth millions? Why do collectors chase it like buried treasure? And how can you tell if your penny could be the next millionaire-making coin? We're diving deep into that mystery today. The story, the secrets, and the shocking truth behind one of America's most valuable cents. Let's rewind for a second. The year was 1957. Dwight D. Eisenhower was president, Elvis Presley ruled the radio, and a gallon of gas cost just 24 cents. The U.S. Mint in Denver was busy striking hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents, each one stamped with that tiny D mint mark beneath the date. But here's where things get interesting. Not every penny was created equal. Some 1957 pennies were struck with minting errors so rare, they became instant legends among coin collectors. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even wrong planchet errors, rare manufacturing mistakes that turned a common coin into a priceless artifact. Now here's the kicker. One verified 1957 penny with a full red luster and near-perfect condition recently hit the collector's market with an estimated value of $5.1 million. That's right. A coin you could have spent on a gumball 60 years ago is now worth more than a luxury mansion. And before you think, well, that's just luck, think again. These coins are still out there, circulating, hidden, forgotten in jars, drawers, and pockets across America. So the question is, have you checked yours? Seriously, pause for a second. When was the last time you looked closely at your old change? Funny enough, most people throw away pennies like they're useless, but if they knew what a small D under the date could mean, they'd treat every cent like gold. You ever think about how strange it is that people say, find a penny, pick it up all day, you'll have good luck. But no one ever thought that penny might actually pay for a Ferrari. Maybe the saying should be, find a penny, retire early. Here's the reality. Collectors, Dealers and investors are scouring the US right now, searching for coins exactly like this one. They know that every year, more of these rare pennies are lost forever, melted down, damaged, or simply tossed aside. That's why time is your biggest enemy and your greatest opportunity. If you have old coins lying around, pennies from the 50s, 60s, even the 70s, now is the moment to check. Because once they disappear from circulation, they're gone for good. And the best part? You don't need to be an expert to start. All you need is curiosity, a magnifying glass, and a little hope. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next headline. Ordinary American finds $5 million penny in kitchen jar. It's not just a dream. It's happening. The market for rare coins is exploding. Collectors are offering record-breaking prices for coins that once meant nothing. And the 1957 D. Lincoln penny is the shining symbol of that change. So here's your challenge. Tonight, after this video, grab your old piggy bank, open those drawers, check your parents' or grandparents' collections. Because you never know. That one penny could change your life. In my next video, I'll reveal how to spot the secret mint marks, the color tones, and the surface clues that separate a $5 penny from a $5 million penny. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. So before you go, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and tell me in the comments, what's the oldest penny you've ever found? Because who knows, maybe that tiny piece of copper is your ticket to millionaire status. Sometimes, fortune doesn't roar, it whispers. And sometimes, it hides in the palm of your hand, in the shine of a simple 1957 D. Lincoln penny.